Okay, please rise, everybody, for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance
To
to the flag of the United States of America
America.
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please stay standing. Heavenly Father, we invoke thy blessing on all in attendance here and those we serve. Help us to bring wisdom and humanity to our deliberations and thy spirit to our work. Please be seated.
Please be seated, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight for this Board of Education meeting. Just a couple of comments. First of all, we're not going to be taking public comments and questions over the Zoom meeting. If you have questions or comments, please submit them to the district clerk via email, and we'll answer them. This meeting is being taped and will be transcribed, and will be put up on our website. Hope everybody's doing well and everybody's healthy. It's a very difficult times right now, and our thoughts and prayers are with everybody, that everybody's well and healthy and safe. I just want to thank also right now, I guess Christine Finn, Dr. Christine Finn, and her team, Central Administration team, the principals and the staff of our schools for all the wonderful work that they've done in continuing to teach our kids, to teach our students, I should say, during this period of time, and going above and beyond in a lot of cases in teaching our students and in bringing education and bringing the curriculum to the kids over during this time. Thank you, Dr. Finn, for your work, and thank you for your team and their work, and everybody for the fine job. Just want to also pass along our condolences to the Carney family, Carney and Hopkins family, on the passing of Patricia Carney. She worked in our school for a number of years, and her grandchildren graduated from school, and her husband, Jack Carney, has been a longtime volunteer coach in the district. So our prayers and thoughts are with their family, with the Carney and Hopkins family. Also, on the agenda tonight, we have a couple retirements. Mr. Abend, Mrs. Tarani, and Mrs. Green. Wish them well in their retirement. We're going to have something for them in the future. Hopefully, we're back to school soon, and something to honor the retirees as well as the tenure teachers. And those are my comments. Dr. Finn?
I just want to reiterate thanking all of the people in the district and the community. This is a community that is very special to me, and for exactly the reasons that have been demonstrated to me over the last few days. People have just been so helpful, coming forward, asking to assist, being there for each other, working together, and I count my administrative team amongst the finest. I could not do this without them. They have been wonderful. John Hendricken, Eileen Fredericks, Bill Molnar, Kevin Coffey, Anastasia Georgiados, who cannot be with us here tonight. Also our staff, our principals, Kathy Soletti, Sue Folkson, Tom DiPaolo, Mike Ranga and his unit, all of our faculty members. There is not a person who hasn't stepped up to try to help us in this unprecedented time. It's a time of great unease. We just don't know what's going to happen. And the one thing I can be sure of and certain of is that Carle Place will step up. And they have certainly been doing that. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for that. We have some good news. Trinity Reed, you'll see, is our News 12 athlete. Very exciting. You can see that on our website, and very proud of her. And also congratulations to Max Buck, who was accepted into the Air Force Academy.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
Very nice.
And that's all I have. So we don't public.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So the next item on the agenda is the public hearing for the Code of Conduct 2020-2021. Dr. Finn or Ms. Fredericks, you want to say anything regarding that?
Just that it's an annual revision of the a review and revision of the Code of Conduct, and we distributed to the principals who look to see if there are any changes that need to be made. And usually it's social trends and the latest scheme that adolescents might be up to. So the change that's in it for now is really changing, kind of broadening the scope of something where we had a statement that if students were in violation of the code of conduct, if they were selling or buying or using drugs and drug paraphernalia on the school campus, and we broadened that to just if they're using it, buying it, or selling it, or possessing it, because we felt that with all social media, things can happen in school, start in school, and end somewhere else, and the infraction may not be on the school campus. So we just wanted to tighten that up a little. So that's the change that's in there currently.
Thank you, Eileen.
Mhm.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Any comments from the board regarding that?
No comment.
No comment?
Comments for me.
Okay, no, thank you. Okay, next on the agenda is presentations, budget presentations. I don't know if in any particular order, we can start, I guess, alphabetically.
I think I'm going to do technology first. I'm going to share my screen. So I'm going to, all right, I'm going to give this a try.
Here we go.
We'll see how it goes. Hang on. So let's see. Agenda, budget presentations. And I will say that Anastasia Georgiados could not be here tonight, but she has very kindly given us, can you see my screen, everyone?
No.
No.
Not as of yet, no.
Okay, let me try again. Help. No. It's not gonna work. Hang on. Shoot. Hang on. All right, gonna try again. Oh, I don't want to leave. Oh, I see it. There it is. Okay, I apologize. There we go. Can you see it?
Yep.
Oh,
Matt.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, we can now, we can, yes.
All right.
Thank you.
it may be helpful to mute everybody, Chris.
Yeah, I think I can try to do that. Hang on one second, but if you guys will save your questions till the end then of the presentation, I can do that. All right.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay.
Mute everybody then. Me. No. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
I can hear you.
Yes.
It's not letting me mute everybody at once, so hang on one second. Oh, there's Eloise. Hang on, let me let her in. And there's Katie. Okay. And I'm going to mute all.
Do you want to leave me in?
Is that Kevin?
Yes.
2 seconds. Let me just see. Yes, I may unmute you. Hang on one second. I am going to unmute you, Kevin, just in case. All right. Let me see if I can get back. Did you still see my screen? You see the Frogs technology budget? Yes?
Yes, I see the screen. Yep.
Okay, good. All right. So Frogs technology budget. This is Anna Georgiatos, Director of Instructional Technology. And this is her budget for her long-term goals. As you know, when we did our work this year, we are trying to tie all of our budget goals to our long-term goals. So that is what Anna has done for us. So this is our strategic plan. As you can see, she's highlighted the goals that actually are highlighted that relate to her goals, and I'll tell you what they are. She is obviously looking to deploy and support best practice to initiate a one-to-one initiative over the next 3 to 5 years. And a one-to-one initiative means that every child and every staff member has a remote device that they can call their own. And it's very timely in this day and age right now because of what's happening. That is something that we would like to have, and we are looking into starting that. So that's one of her goals. She would like to integrate a digital citizenship unit of study and monitor and update the infrastructure of the district to ensure optimal efficiency, make all shared learning spaces internet enabled, and by that she even means the fields and the gym. These are goals, of course, and develop a professional development plan in the learning of instructional technology. So school tool training, Google training, cyber citizenship, smartboard notebook use. Some of those things we've actually already started because of what has been happening. She also would like to develop a link with the community for positive culture by helping to provide training for senior citizens. This is something we hope to do soon so that they can use computers in the Genius Bar, and other clubs to assist. So we're very excited about that, and that should be something that happens very soon. She is responsible for creating the budget for our infrastructure. The biggest thing that is included in this budget is improving cybersecurity through Microsoft A5. That's part of her job for all faculty and all staff. Provide in-house solutions to software, hardware, and infrastructure needs. She is already providing cyber student citizenship instruction and supporting instruction through apps, hardware, and PD. And she's been doing that on the fly all this week, helping teachers to get ready to be able to deliver that remote learning, and collaborating with administration to get the most instructional platform for curriculum. And there's so many of them. We would like to explore them and maybe kind of come to consensus on which one we should use. Most people like Google Classrooms, but we haven't made any decisions on that yet. Anastasia's department is also responsible for AT, which is Administrative Technology, supports all the business end of things, New York State federal data reporting, scheduling, grading, transportation, anything to do with personnel and finance, and our phone systems. The existing services that we have to pay for in this budget are printing, IT support, all the laptops and primary desktops that need to be replaced. And of course, again, we're looking with an eye toward one-to-ones eventually. Infrastructure, firmware upgrades, support renewals, the internet access, our student information system, which lets us connect with everybody, Blackboard Connect. You've heard me talking on the phone that we pay for that service. It's very, very important that we have it. Teacher web pages, all the software renewals, new software purchases, library database services, Microsoft consortia. And she does all this with a very small department that works very hard. 1 director, 2 informational tech aides, 1 part-time duplicator, and 2 IT specialists from BOCES, Bill and Yanni, who are marvelous. She has a technology budget view. Basically, everything that is in her budget was in the budget last year. The only really big new thing is the improvement of cybersecurity. So we have, unfortunately, the world is a world where people hack, and they hack into people's infrastructure, and it costs districts a lot of money, and we need to be sure that that doesn't happen to us. So we are suggesting in this budget that we purchase something called Microsoft A5. It gives us advanced threat protection and prevents people from being able to take our data and wreak havoc with our lives, especially with ransomware, which is where someone hacks in, takes control of your software, and you have to pay to get them to give it back to you. We don't want that to happen to us. Now, Anastasia has been working very hard to make sure that we are doing things as inexpensively as we can, monitoring the use of hardware and instructional software. We make sure that people are using what they say they're using, and we consult with technology directors in Nassau County regarding pricing, product reliability, and effectiveness. Someone's not using something, we don't buy it again. We work collaboratively with NASTech group facilitators and group members regarding all new hardware and all new software. So that is Anna's presentation. I will stop the share, and then I'll take questions from the board. Okay, I'm going to unmute just the board. And I'm going to unmute Kevin because he worked with Anastasia on this budget. Kevin, where are you? Are you there?
I'm unmuted already.
You're unmuted. Okay, let me unmute Anthony. Do I have all board members unmuted?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Oh, Eileen, let me unmute. Sorry. And Phil also, because some of the software pertains to him as well. Okay, any questions? And I'm not Anna, so I will certainly collect those questions if you need them.
I don't have any.
As far as this is John. As far as infrastructure, I know we've taken care of a lot of different things. Is there anything on the horizon that we should be concerned about? I mean, I'm assuming she's updating the technology plan, that we have, goes out for 2 or 3 years at a time, correct?
She is, and from what I heard from Yanni, our big purchases, our hardware, our infrastructure, our servers, that's already been taken care of. So now she's looking towards, with an eye of maybe making things even better in the future. Of course, it's not in this budget, but as I said, to have internet access on the fields and whatnot would be a wonderful thing. To have one-to-ones for all students would be a wonderful thing. So those are areas that she is looking into for us. The big purchase is the cybersecurity piece, though. That's really necessary.
If there's one thing that from this whole thing that we're going through right now, that she's found a challenge because of, has there any been challenges that's come up that she would want to address in whether it be this budget or the following budget?
Well, we would love to have had one-to-one initiatives for everybody, but we don't have that right now in our budget. We can't. So that we already put that in. However, we're doing the replacement cycle. So she is looking to see if we can start one and start to roll that out early, because that has been the biggest challenge in this whole case right now. We don't have the devices for the teachers and for the students that we wish we had. Many other districts have these one-to-ones, and so remote learning can kind of almost happen instantaneously. We don't have that. It makes it a problem because we don't have what we really wish we could have for something like that. It makes it very difficult. Okay.
How many are we short if we wanted to do one-to-one next year?
We have about half.
Not during this budget, but in the next budget cycle.
So Anastasia said we have about 700 devices, so about 350 iPads and about 350 Chromebooks. So of course, we want to make sure that that we can afford that, and it's not in this budget. So to do it right, you might want to collaborate with BOCES. You might want to look into leasing options. Those things might be a little less expensive. There are certainly ways to do it. She is very familiar with those ways. I suspect that was an interview question that she probably answered. And I would love to hear her ideas. And she knows, just from what we've been going through, we've been, families who might have needs, we are certainly helping them, but it would be so nice to be able to have everybody have a device of their own. And it's not really that expensive, especially since you're replacing other computers on a cycle to begin with.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. All right. Who's next?
Should we do fine arts or athletics? Doesn't matter to me.
Chris, you want to do athletics? Oh, she's muted. Hang on. I'm going to unmute everybody for a minute. Just for a moment. And now I'm going to mute everybody. I do not want participants. Chris, I'm going to unmute you. Okay. Chris, can you speak? Still not working.
Oh, but I
there you
did
go.
myself. I didn't know if you wanted me to do that.
There you are. All right, I'm going to share my screen, and it'll take me a minute to get out of that other presentation and get in for yours, okay?
Sure.
So hang on. And Chris, you're gonna have to tell me when to move, okay?
Okay.
All right, so let's go into CarPlace. Hang on one second, everyone. I just have to get to the correct screen. And we're doing athletics, yes. Okay, so I'm going to go back to Zoom. And I'm going to share my screen. Chris, is that yours? Can everybody see the screen? Chris, can you see it?
I can see it.
Okay, go ahead, Chris.
All right. Well, thank you. Well, the cover page is just basically pictures from this season, our fall and our winter. You could definitely go to the next slide.
Okay, all right, it's gonna be a little slow, so. All righty, go ahead.
All right. So I think that in athletics, I think we went.
Sorry, we did go to I
That's
apologize.
okay.
This one, right?
The one right before there, that's perfect. In athletics, basically, when we talk about the budget, it's what we spend in equipment. It's what we spend in supplies for boys and girls programs, our entry fees into tournaments, whether it's volleyball, whether it's bowling, whether it's wrestling, track and field, awards, which basically do our winter, fall, spring awards, including all the awards for the athletic dinner, our athletic trainer, which is a contract. We just started our first year of another 5-year contract with Professional. Golf fees, bowling fees, and then just our dues for the state, which have not gone up in the last 3 years. I always like to show at least a year or two of what we have spent. If you see in 2018-19, when you see $17,000 for equipment, that was from when we purchased the new scoreboard. That's where that came from. But since then, we are basically up to date with scoreboards now. CYO actually purchased a new scoreboard for our Rushmore Avenue gym. We just have not installed it yet. It was ready to go right before this happened. So yes, Rushmore will finally get a nice scoreboard. And that's basically the monies that we spend. So if you see, this really has not been an increase over the last few years. I've been trying to take what we have, the programs that we run, and be able to keep it within our budget. All right, we can switch to the next screen.
Okay, hang on. Oops, sorry. Because I don't have control of the screen per se, that I can't do a normal click. So I'm sorry, Chris. Is this
That's
the
okay.
slide you're looking
As long as
for?
everybody doesn't mind.
Okay. This is,
Okay. And if you see the picture on top, where it says CP Car Place Athletics on the back, our Booster Club this year is purchasing banners for our stands. And that's one of them that would be on the visitor side, which is closer to the school building. I thought I'd put that in there so you can see that. Hopefully, it was supposed to be installed in the spring, but right now we're on hold. What I continued with the athletic budget is which is big, is the coaching how we run our athletic program is our coaching salaries, our BOCES fees, which is our course schedule. That's all our schedules that we do, our official fees, and then of course our chaperone fees for people to actually work the game. So that's what all included in that. And again, we've kept the budget. I mean, I'm showing you the last 3 years, but if you probably would saw the last 5 to 7 years, it really hasn't changed much. I did list all the teams. I think that's a big question we talk about for a very small school district. We run 63 teams in Car Place. That's on the high school level to the middle school level. And what we offer an awful lot for a small school district. So I put that down there just to see, when you see the amount of money that we spend on athletics, is that how many teams that we're actually running. So I thought that was important to show that. You can move to the next screen, Dr. Finn, if you don't mind.
sure. Okay.
Okay, the next was the strategic plan, which I think everybody knows that. I didn't highlight anything because, again, I'm not as computer savvy as everybody else is. So all I did is, if you go to the next slide, if you don't mind, Dr. Finn, the last slide. And I just wrote down, what is our plan as not only just an athletic department, but we're always looking to continue to improve all the things that we do in athletics. We've continued to look about exploring merges and combined teams when we can do so. Again, it's more about, running programs and trying to run programs. So we're always looking at that. Explore ways to improve communication. I'm looking into a program next year that will actually put all our health forms online. So no more students having to drop off like the day before and trying to get everything cleared, that we'll do this all online. So when I say look at ways to improve communication with parents, is being able to do that. Constantly evaluating our modified programs and our philosophy, and whether our philosophy should change on the modified level, going up to the high school level, always looking into that. Evaluating our special programs. I'm not sure if you're aware that we, 2 years ago, I started the program, 2 programs actually, a Challenger program, and then we started the Unified Basketball program, which I'm looking to maybe do bowling next year. And that's basically trying to get our life skills kids involved in athletics. So that's been a huge success and growing. And then distribute more information related to overuse of injuries and concussion management. We still want to make sure that every day with all our athletes, that we are monitoring to them, making sure that they're certainly not overusing and get more injuries, and managing and that helps with having an athletic trainer. That's something that the board was so gracious to add about 6 or 7 years ago, and what an asset to our athletic program, having somebody overseeing all this. And then I wrote down implementing a new coaching evaluation. I'm always trying to look at ways to improve not only how we can just our teachers, but our coaching staff. So I really showed Dr. Finn and Ms. Fredericks my proposal, and hopefully I will instill it in the fall of next year. And that's my plan.
Okay, I'm going to stop the share, and then I'm going to unmute the board for questions, okay? All righty. So let's see. Unmute Bill. Unmute. Going to unmute Kevin. All righty. Joe. And John. And Mr. Bolzomi. Okay. All right. Does anybody have any questions?
Yes, Chris, very nice presentation. Thank you very much. Just a couple of things. One is, I guess, is not necessarily about the presentation, but to tell us a little bit about how your group, how your different groups are delivering instruction during this period. Because, I mean, obviously, different, you have a couple different group areas there: physical education, health, and the consumer sciences. Just talk a little bit of how you're delivering instruction during this period, if you could.
Definitely. Well, right now I actually meet with using the same method we're doing right now. I meet with my department, and that's K to 12 twice a week, just to make sure that we're all on the same page. Keep in mind, this was not easy for a lot of us, because including myself, who is not, as savvy as most. I thank goodness that my children are home. I say children, my young adults are home, that were able to help me set up a lot of things myself. And what we're doing basically for physical education, health, STEM, consumer sciences, all my teachers are on Google Meet. They have all their assignments on that Google Meetings. This way they can actually meet with their classes and put all that information on their websites and links. This way they can check in every day. So that's what they're basically doing right now, and little different variations. Phys ed wise, it's more of on the elementary level, they did a great job of putting all the links to all different things that they can do, like Go Noodle. It's one app called Superman, all things that they can, just kind of link on and watch a video and become somewhat physically active. On the high school level right now, we are doing a weekly log, a 30-minute weekly log, so that they can go on, put down what they're doing for a week, and then they check in with the teacher at the end of the week. Phys ed wise, we have not had all students, involved yet on the high school level. Keep in mind that's over close to 300 students. So they're slowly working. The last week, our numbers are increasing with them getting on and putting that information in. So we are working on that.
Yeah, well, we just started actually that piece of distance learning. Chris, could you explain a little bit about Go Noodle, what that is? Because the audience may not know what it is. What is it? What happens when a child logs on to Go Noodle? What do they?
When they log on to Go Noodle or any one of those links, it actually just walks them through either a physical activity, whether it could be, obviously the Go Noodle's more for the elementary level, and it will tell them, do 25 jumping jacks, and they'll show you a demonstration. So this way, it's almost like they're getting active. It's not their own teachers doing it, but they're getting an active demonstration of almost kind of like it looks like a YouTube video of what to do. And those are what all those platforms are. And one thing that's really great in physical education, there are so many platforms. So I didn't ask my teachers to reinvent the wheel. I asked them to reach out. And there's a lot of links that we do. And I've been collaborating with my AD and my PE friends, and we've been all helping each other out to coming up with the great links to kind of help each other. And then I'm sharing that with my department, and sometimes some new things come up that I never even heard of. We do PE Central too. So there's a lot of information out there. So now it's just a matter of just getting that information out. So we're doing a little bit at a time. For a week in, we've done an awful lot.
Yeah, we're asking everybody's patience as we all learn how to do this. And again, a hat tip to Anastasia Georgatos, because teachers are calling her every day asking to how to videotape themselves. How do I upload a video? How do I make this link available on my website? How do I make a website? because I never had one before. And so in that way, it has shown us, and Eileen and I are definitely on board here, the amount of professional development that the teachers need in terms of technology. But to their credit, I think they're really jumping in and trying their best to make sure kids have everything they're supposed to have, whether it's phys ed, ENL, special education services, speech, counseling, whatever it may be. We're working towards it. We invite feedback. We definitely want parents to contact us if they have any questions or concerns. Okay. All right, John?
Another question. Chris, I guess just thinking about, what where you're going through in the departments that you have there. What if we want to bring this, the teaching and the student achievement to the next level, to really, bring us as a district to the next level? What are some of the things in your departments that you're looking to do in order to get us there to that next level? If you had to think about that.
John, are you talking about now as we're home remote learning, or you're talking about once everything goes back?
Once everything goes back.
Maybe our new normal.
Yeah, no, the world.
What we know, the world we know.
Where we know right now. Okay.
No, not right now, but the one we used to know.
Okay. All right. All right. I mean, as far as where's my physical education department going to go in the future? Is that what we're talking about?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I also think that physical education and health education definitely needs to be a collaboration now. We know, and I had this conversation with Mrs. Fredericks, that moving on to getting more of the mental health awareness into our curriculum and into our phys ed classes, and having that awareness, because I think it's so important. We're dealing with that a lot. So I think incorporating that into our lessons and make it more like a curriculum wide on, of course, physical education and health, whether we develop I want to call maybe a safe room where students know that during the day they have a place to go. We are expanding our yoga, our meditation classes. So I think anything that's up and coming is what I would love to be able to add, but I think the direction we're moving in is more mental health awareness.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Do you want me to go on to the next one, John?
Chris, I have one question.
Sure.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. Thanks for the presentation. You mentioned consolidation of teams. I imagine that's with the Wheatley program. One of the booster members who focuses on wrestling had mentioned to me that the tournament rules had changed regarding combined teams. We wouldn't necessarily have to move up a division if we combine. So is there any conversation? Is that true, number one? And then number two, is there any conversation to go back to joining Wheatley for one combined wrestling team?
Well, the first question is yes. The answer is the rules changed. The reason why we considered it was originally a 2-year plan. But then the rules changed again, because what happened was originally when two teams merged, you actually used to take 100% of, say, Wheatley's enrollment, you take 100% of our enrollment, which moves us up to a Division I. Once those rules changed, now it's 100%, and now it's 30% of the second school. So if you actually combine, we still would be considered a small school. The state changed that about a year ago, even across the board. They used to use the 5 classification numbers, which basically meant baseball, softball, boys and girls basketball. Those are numbers they use. And they realized you can't keep doing that because individual sports are very different. So they actually went by classification numbers with the state through sports specific. So that is definitely a good thing. So the question is, can we go back to merging? Yes, we certainly can. The idea that I want to do was a 3-year pilot program and build our program. I think that we're doing that. I think that if you look at our numbers on the modified level now, I think it helps with using our multi-purpose room, bringing our program back to Carr Place, I think is help. And I think if you look at, our numbers are on the modified level of close to anywhere from 20 to up to 35 middle school athletes want to wrestle. So if 6 or 7 of those kids continue, I don't really see a need to merge anymore in that, only because I think we're truly building our own program, bringing it back to Carr Place. I'm not saying down the road, if I see those numbers drop again, by all means, we'll open that door again.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Will that allow for some savings in our dollars as far as our spend?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Would that allow for some expense savings if we went down that road and stuff with different
Believe it or
teams?
not, when we merge teams, we're really not saving that much money. Everybody thinks we are, because if we're merging with Wheatley and we go over to Wheatley, I'm still spending for busing to get them over to Wheatley every day. And you talk about almost $400 a bus every day. So in the long run, we're really not saving that much. You know what I mean? Because we chip in for the official fees. They might buy the uniforms. So the idea when we really merge, I want to be honest with you, we didn't save that much money, but what we did save is the opportunity for kids to be able to wrestle across the board and not eliminate in weight categories. Meaning like we weren't forfeiting 140 pounds because we didn't have somebody to fit it. Joining with Wheatley, we were able to fill every, that's because we had 2 small numbers. We had like 8 and 8 kids. Now our program is up to 12, 15, 17 kids. I do think the next year or two, we're going to be more.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else? Okay. All right. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you, everybody.
Chris,
Thank
I'm gonna
you.
mute you. Tom, I'm gonna unmute you, Tom. All right, so Tom's unmuted. I'm gonna leave everybody else muted except the board. And I'm gonna share my screen again. Are we ready to, John, to move on to fine arts?
Yes, we are.
And Tom
Thank you.
DiPaolo, thank you. You're gonna be doing that for us.
Yes, unfortunately, Michael Lamone had a situation, a health emergency with one of his family members, so he couldn't be here tonight. So I will be presenting the presentation. I know a lot of it. I don't know all of it, but here we go. So the
All right.
Fine and Performing Arts is 3 different departments, I guess you can call them. It's fine arts, it's music, and now it's theater. Next slide, please.
Okay.
It's a K through 12 department. So there, and now I can really say K through 12 because this current year, through the board support, we're offering art in the kindergarten years. So I'm not sure which is the next slide, Chris. So whatever you think.
It is the strategic plan, and I believe that he was talking about, I'm trying to make it bigger. I apologize. It's doing its own thing here. Let me
No
see.
worries. So
There
it is truly a K through 12 program, and in the strategic plan, the Fine and Performing Arts fits under the program section of the strategic plan. So the goals for the 2021 school year is to continue to provide that high level performance. I'm making it up because I can't see it, Chris.
Can you see now the fine arts, the goals?
I'm almost there. To continue providing a high-quality fine arts program, to continue nurturing the development of student artists from grades K through 12, to continue our work aligning curriculum goals, especially in the years where the kids transition between 2nd to 3rd grade and 6th to 7th grade, and to continue updating and improving the infrastructure of our fine arts spaces district-wide, the band rooms, the chorus rooms, the orchestra rooms, and the theaters. So the first department that we're going to talk about first is music. That's Matt Costello. I don't know if you guys remember him, but he's a freshman in college studying music theory. So to continue that K through 12 music program that we all love, sometimes when I'm in a middle school concert, I think it's the high school concert because that's how good they are. To continue nurturing that development of instrumentalists from grades 2 through 12. The idea here is that kids learn early on what instrument they are going to be good in. And then there's that handful of kids that can be good in every instrument or lots of instruments. The curriculum goals to see that transition from 2nd to 3rd to 6th to 7th is what Mr. Lamone is going to focus in on a lot with music. And to streamline the way we track players and vocalists from Rushmore to the middle school. Sometimes kids decide between Rushmore and middle school to just change instruments, and sometimes that's a good move, and sometimes that's not such a good move. The second area is the theater program, which now we can truly say we have a theater program now. We offer that program from grades 8 through 12. And that's not only from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., but from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. Because now we offer theater classes, one in the middle school and one in the high school. And we're seeing those benefits in the productions that we've been performing at our district. Let's see. So to provide that education, the high quality education, to nurture the development of student performers through grades 3 through 12, to continue to and improve the infrastructure of the space. Again, the similar goals from music to theater, and to continue that quality professionalism of the Call Place Theater program. So right now, students have a few different opportunities to perform in the theater. I think we skipped art, Chris.
Okay.
Go back and find art. But for the theater, we have 1 middle school play. Then we have 3 now high school plays. And then we have the student-run musical, which is yet another opportunity for kids who want to be involved in there. There it is.
Yay.
The fine arts, again, almost similar goals, aligning the curriculum and improving the space as well. Fine arts use, as you can imagine, lots of supplies, and we're finding cost savings by using similar art products throughout 3 buildings. All right, now if you could slip 2 slides.
Now, and as Mr. DiPaolo said, all of these areas fall under program, but in my opinion, they also fall under positive culture, because we know that when we have the arts in schools, it just makes the school a much nicer place to be. So here's the budget summary.
So the budget summary is actually a decrease from last year of $4,250. We pretty much stayed the same in most of the categories and went down in a few. This slide, I don't know as much of the background of information, but that that we're saving money, yay, and still performing, still providing kids with all the opportunities.
And those of you who are in the remote audience, the spreadsheet for all of these presentations are on the website. So if you have any questions, you certainly can email Sue Eliasoff and we will answer those questions remotely.
So
Fine arts, yes.
So now, just to give for you what the culminating experience is for students in the fine arts, we've maneuvered it so that every student who wants to take an art track, let's say, has to start off with a course called Studio Art. It's a full year course, and it gives the kids a little bit of everything. And then they can, as a prerequisite, then they can take any of the other courses, which include drawing and painting, then advanced drawing and painting, and then studio art and portfolio. That same linear method is the same for ceramics and sculpture as well, where the kids can take ceramics and then advanced ceramics, or sculpture and then advanced sculpture. But you have to take studio art first. Then there's some electives like metalsmithing and photography and digital photography, and those courses you can take without having to take studio art. So that was a big change for us this year. This was the first currently group of kids that 9th grade took studio art.
Great. You want me to move?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right, and we have music.
So the band, chorus, and orchestra program in the high school, again, works so seamlessly because it's the same teachers from grade 7 through 12. So Mr. Kavanaugh, Ms. Yonker, and Mr. Stein have those kids for 6 years. We've been at, and then we have the evening programs are the clubs, the jazz band, the vocal ensemble, and the budget supports all of these things, which are really so crucial for kids to get the experiences. We also offer some music electives, guitar, soundtrack, musical theater, and this current year we started with piano theory and practice, where the kids have keyboards and they learn how to play the piano. So that was a new course because we had Ms. Yonker, who's a new teacher who wanted to offer that course. So that was very successful this year, and the numbers look healthy for next year as well.
Okay.
And then I think we have one more.
Theater arts, beautiful. Okay.
Mr. Lamone teaches 2 classes, and that's actually our auditorium from a different point of view. I really like that view.
Mhm.
So he teaches two courses. One is called Acting One, and that's for middle school students, eighth grade students, and not really required to have taken middle school theater or anything like that. And then the other course is the middle school theater course that we have as well, and those numbers are growing.
And I think that's the last slide.
And I'm done.
You are done.
I take full credit for everything because I did nothing.
All right, now, it's a lot, and I know I can speak for Mike. We appreciate you jumping in here. Hang
No
on,
worries.
I'm going to stop the share. Any questions, board members? We will try to
Yes.
answer them as best we can, and if not, we'll give them to Mike to
Yeah,
answer.
I don't know if this is a fair question, but he mentions infrastructure and changing the spaces and stuff in the fine arts theater and the music. What are some of the things he's thinking about?
So we've already done some of it. For example, this current school year, thanks to the board's budget from last year, for this current year, we've carpeted both the high school orchestra room and the high school band room. And that has made a world of difference for the acoustics in the room. We're retrofitting a closet that is in between those two to be a practice room. But I believe his goal for the future are the risers that are used for chorus. Some of them are ready to be replaced. I think we've worn them out. And I think that's in, possibly all three buildings or possibly two. But that is a long-term goal for him.
Okay.
Okay. And tell me a little bit about, I guess, this. What was the experience with studio art this year? Because you said it was the first time it was required as a ninth grade class.
Yeah, so what was happening before was that kids would take, for example, drawing and painting without having taken studio art before that. And so they didn't have the requisite skills to really be in a drawing and painting class. So now what we've done is we've made that to be the gateway class for all future classes. So this was the first year that we did that, and it worked out really well. We had, I think, 5 sections of studio art, and so the numbers look really healthy for next year for those next level of courses, drawing and painting, ceramics, and sculpture.
Okay. And then the other thing I was going to ask about was with regards to, I know Lisa has got the CTE designation. Are we going to try and do something with some of our teachers to improve, their designations and stuff and certifications in that regards?
So I'll turn that over to Dr. Finn.
Yeah, that's definitely a goal of ours. We don't know exactly what would be involved. I once upon a time tried to turn a CTE program in a different district of mine by creating a cosmetology program. Kind of hard to do because we didn't have a cosmetology program. Theater is a little different. It's a little bit more involved than just our teachers getting the certification, of course, but that would be something that we could look into to try to grow our own theater program to be something comparable to a CTE program. It is different. A CTE program is a CTE program. Kids go there to learn how to be actors and actresses and musicians and dancers. At least it's a different place, but we do have very talented art and theater teachers and music teachers here. And if there's a way to enhance our own teaching talent, I think we should definitely look into it. No promises though, but it's definitely something we should look into, I think.
Is there anything else he's looking to develop as far as the program? As far as I guess sort of the question I asked Chris Cerruti about next level and stuff as far as.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be able to speak definitively about that, John, but I think that now this is his second year being in our district. He saw how things were run, and now we're just improving from there. I think the goals that he has right now is to look at a better articulation between Cherry Lane and Rushmore in all 3 departments, in the 2 departments in art and music, and also between the Rushmore and then the high school. So I don't know the specifics of those things, but he is looking for a K through 12 experience for kids,
Right.
rather than a piecemeal kind of program.
And Tom,
That's good. I'm glad he's reaching out to the different schools. That's great.
It is, and I love the idea of it being K through 12 aligned. That is definitely a district-wide goal for every subject, every area. And one thing he did share with me was having, as his dream, his goal, 3 to 5 years in the theater, to have a really first-class theater and music and fine arts program. So I think we have a really great one, but somebody looking forward, not just saying, oh, we're going to sit on our laurels and just accept great. We want to be even better. And I think Mike is going to lead us there.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, like I have an untrained ear, John. So when I see a concert, no matter what concert, I think it's awesome. Whereas a real musician would say, okay, we have to move it to the next step. So I'm a little bit more biased that I think everything is great. But I'm sure he and his staff want to move it to the next step.
And I'm assuming it's sort of, I guess, a silly question, I guess, is I'm assuming we're good on all our, replacement of all of the different instruments and everything. We're all good on that and everything.
I believe so. Yeah, I think that's part of his budget plan. Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? Okay. All right, John, turn it back to you.
Well, thank you, everybody, for all the presentations. The next item on the agenda is our consent agenda. May I have a motion for a consent agenda?
So moves, Zino.
Second, McLaughlin.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Passed unanimously 5-0. The next item on the agenda is, the visitors' comments will, if you could please pass them on to us via email to the district clerk, whether about the presentation or about anything. Please pass them on to the district clerk and we'll answer them. So thank you very much for that. Okay, before I do the adjournment thing, I just want to thank all the presenters for their time today. Great job by the presentations. Thank you. I want to thank our community members that have joined us on this meeting. This is a first for us. We hope to be back live in a room together real soon, and just hope everybody's well and healthy and safe. And thank you for, and again, Dr. Svin, thank you for all the great work that you and everybody in the central administration team, principals, and staff have done. So thank you.
We are so appreciative, Tom. John, thank you. Thank you, board, for being so supportive of us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'd like to echo John's feelings. Thank you, Chris, the cabinet, all the way down. Everybody's yeoman effort to keep this thing running, and we're on uncharted territory, and let's all pray that we are staying safe and healthy and taking care of ourselves. That's the most important thing.
True.
And thank the community for their support also during this time.
Right, and we appreciate your patience with regard to these remote meetings. The open meeting laws are suspended, so we will publish this. It will be on the web, so you'll be able to see it. And while we can't accept comments from the public in this forum, because anybody can jump in and say anything they want, which we don't want, but community members, we welcome your questions. If you send them to Sue Eliasoff or me or Eileen or any one of us, we will write out the question, transcribe it, and answer it for you so that you can answer your questions. Okay.
With that being said, may I have a motion to adjourn to executive session to discuss negotiations?
So move, Bolzomi.
Second, McLaughlin.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Passed unanimously. Thank you, everybody. Be well, be safe, and have a good night. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Be careful, everybody.
Take care, everybody.
Be safe. All right.
Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, it'll take me a few minutes to get back into exec, everyone, because I got to tape this.
Okay.
Okay.
Go back with the same link, or do we stay here, Christine?
I think you can actually go back to the same link.
Okay.
Yeah, go back to the
Work, I'll send another link, but just
All
give
right.
me a moment because I want to make sure this records. Thank you.
That's good. We'll see you in a few.